Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. There's a couple things I wanted to get done in between episodes here. Well, one big thing I want to get done in between episodes here is that we had a lot of this area explored up here, but whenever I reset the map, it made it all hidden again. So I want to get up here and basically rediscover this area, find some places for some choke points, but more importantly, see if we can't find a really good place to start building these science modules. They're about yay big, and we've got resources scattered all over the place. And it may be okay that we cover these resources up because we may have better supplies in other places, but we won't know until we do a little bit of exploration. In between episodes, I went ahead and built another tank, got some nuclear fuel, picked up some more combat robots, and kitted out my armor a little bit differently. I threw in 6 personal laser defenses. A lot of people have suggested that I use those, and I've used those in the past. They are very good. It's just this series I've invested a lot in the combat robots and felt like we needed to use them. And I also parked the artillery train up here just to give us some artillery backup if it is needed. But the goal is exploration and uncovering the map, not necessarily combat. So if all goes well, we won't even have to use that. So let's go ahead. We will roll the intro, and we will start our exploration. One thing I will say about the personal laser defense is that it is extremely effective at just driving around and taking out these little worm clumps that are left over after artillery happens. Oh, we got a base. Yeah, and I'd rather not tangle with it if we don't have to. Let's cut through the woods here and see if we can go around it. It appears like we can. All right, starting to get a little thick up here, but we still have water to our left. And it actually appears like it is starting to open up here. So the choke point that we had before was probably along that. I guess we want to probably head over this way and see if we can't find where that ends over here. I really wish there was a better way in vanilla to do exploration like this. I mean, this is okay. It's just kind of tedious. And what's always kind of bothered me about it is the fact that we currently have 78 satellites in orbit here. It just seems like we should have another way to kind of explore the map. I guess that's kind of really out of scope of the game, though, since the whole idea is you win when you launch a rocket, kind of. Really doing a lot of the in-game stuff. Like better exploration is kind of out of scope of the main game. And I mean, I know there are mods. I know there's things we can do. I'm almost considered grabbing the helicopter mod for doing this. Because it is so effective at exploring. It's fast, and it can go over water, and the biters, you really don't even have to worry about them. I mean, we don't really have to worry about them with the tank, but in the helicopter, you really don't have to worry about them. All right, so that uncovers all of that right there, and there's our choke point. That is a pretty good iron patch that I would be interested in purchasing. Yeah, let's go ahead and stop. We'll turn on our robots and get a little bit of repair going. So yeah, basically a lot of this. And fighting back the black splotches on the map. So, over the last couple of months, I've had this little side quest going, and it's been kind of an interesting experience for me. Because it all came from a very simple request that I found turned out to be extremely hard and complex. But I was at a party, not a party. I don't know what you would call it. A gathering. It was like a couple of couples that we were hanging out with. But one of them had a game going, which is what kind of makes it a party. I don't know. Basically, when we arrived there, he had asked us to write down our favorite song on a piece of paper. And the whole idea is that we were going to take all these favorite songs and put them in like a jug and pull one out and say, okay, whose favorite song is this? You know, not cute and innocent, fun little icebreaker for couples. Get to know you kind of thing. But I was having a really hard time with it. A very hard time with it. I could not think of a favorite song. And it's not that I'm one of those people that doesn't like music, because that's almost the opposite. I like it very, very much. The problem is it was a really weird question for me, because I couldn't... There was a movie where someone was asking someone their favorite color, and he said something like, I don't know, my favorite color is blue, and she was like, you're lying. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I haven't had a favorite color since I was 12. kind of that sort of thing is kind of how I was feeling about it. But I also realized that there's a lot of people out there that definitely have favorite songs. And whenever I think of a favorite song, I think back to like that old Seinfeld episode where the guy, whenever Desperado would come on, he would tell everybody to be quiet, and then he would just kind of get into this mesmerized look throughout the whole song. And I don't have any songs that necessarily make me do that. Which is why I felt the question warranted a little bit of thought. But I was being rushed, so I wrote something down on a piece of paper, and that went into the bucket. Nobody guessed my favorite song, but nobody guessed me from that song, which, you know, it kind of felt like I was cheating, because it really wasn't my favorite song. So maybe they knew me so well that they knew that couldn't have been my favorite song, and it wasn't. So anyway, since that happened, I've been on a quest to find out what my favorite song is, and I'm no closer now than when I started, but I feel like even though there's a lot of progress going on, I feel like I'm no closer now. Been a lot of work and a lot of progress, but still nowhere near finding what my favorite song is. Yeah, I remember that oil being right there. A lot of copper up there. What's happening? Bad things are happening. Almost dying. Interesting. They are out of range of our personal laser defense, it seems. All right. All fixed up. All fixed up. What's being attacked? Down here? Not worried about it. Yeah, no, and I really like music a lot. I used to say that I loved music, absolutely loved it, until I went to college, and I started out college actually as a music major studying music. And then I met people that loved music, and realized quickly that I like music a lot, but I don't love it. Those people loved it. Which is why I probably wasn't a music major for very long. But I mean, you know, I still enjoy it, and I have, I would say, a fairly diverse musical tastes. There's no real genre. I would just flat out say I don't like this genre, as some people do, because I don't think that's fair. There's songs that I like from every genre, almost. But I don't know. It just. There's nothing that really stands out as favorite. and it kind of goes to why do you like a song, and it kind of goes back to something I was talking about, why I like a game, and I don't really have a good grasp on why that is. With music, I think it's a little bit more difficult to find the answer to that, just because there's so many things. Like, there are songs that I don't necessarily like musically or respect technically, but I still love the song because it takes me back to my childhood and being in the back seat of an old Oldsmobile with the windows rolled down because there isn't any air conditioning. It just the songs just take me back there. And there are other songs that I like just because of the technical aspect of it. They're very well done musically and through rhythms and harmonies. And boy, what am I getting myself into up here? Is there some water somewhere? Yeah. All right, I think this is our big lake. No, this is like a small lake. What are we looking at here? Oh, okay. So yeah, it is looking like this is turning around. Boy, if that was the choke point right there, that would... Well, actually, that'd be annoying. Because we'd have a bigger choke point on the other side. Never mind. Yeah, but yeah, there's like for the technical aspect, there's some that you know, the lyrics are very good and impact you in some way that you could relate to a lot, and that might make you like a song, even though the music may not be great. And I don't know, a lot of different factors kind of go into it. So somewhere about that time, I actually started a Spotify playlist. And I just went through my memory. I went through my old CDs and old, you know, things that I remember listening to, while going through old memories and you know, just browsing through Spotify and made a big giant playlist of all the songs that were in the potential running to be the favorite song. And there were quite a few of them that ended up in that list, or still are. Lots of them. So, you know, I realized I couldn't say that my favorite song was, you know, a list of 250 songs or something like that. So I did go through kind of a process of trying to weed them out, but there were a number of different strategies, a number of different ways I tried to go about doing that, but none of them seemed to make a lot of sense. I first did like kind of like a head-to-head tournament where I would just pick two songs at random and think, you know, okay, I like this song better than this song. So this song goes in the songs that I like category, and this one is the one that goes in the mediocre songs that are kind of okay category. The problem is, as I did that, they weren't being ranked very effectively, so I ended up with two lists. You know, like I would play song A and song B, and I would say, okay, I definitely like song A a lot more than song B. But then when next time song C and song D came along, I would say that I like song C better, but the problem is that I didn't really like song C better than I like song B. So even though song C was in the winners list, it was actually, and B was in the losers, the B you know what I'm trying to say? It wasn't a very effective system. And it needed to change. So, number of refinements that I went through. There were a couple of realizations I came through. There was a talk that I heard on YouTube a while ago. Where the guy was basically explaining the difference between a composer and a songwriter. Basically, the difference between a composition and a song, and that was fairly insightful. And that helped me limit a lot of things. It's one of those like super nerdy distinctions. Like you would never hear somebody say my favorite song is Beethoven's Fifth, or my favorite musical composition is We Are the Champions by Queen. These are not things that you would normally compare. But so yeah, now I've got a number of different Spotify play. I'm still on the mission. I figure there's got to be one that scores higher. I just haven't found the right system that I'm happy with. I currently have about 5 or 6 different Spotify playlists now that are songs that I like for different reasons. There's like the nostalgia playlist, the songs that I like just because they have some nostalgic feeling for me, or the playlist I have that are songs that are just technically excellent. Everything just works in them. Some of them that are just based off of the feel. I don't know. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Some of them have like historical and cultural impact. That even though you may not like them, you still have to have like kind of a healthy respect for them because for what they represent. I don't know. It's hard. It's very, very difficult. But through it all, and comparing this with the game thing that I was going through the other day, trying to figure out what my favorite kind of game was. It's weird. It's like a it's a weird thing to think about, and I don't have a full grasp on why there is why I could say what's your favorite food, Kitch, and I'd say pizza, pepperoni and jalapeno pizza. That without a doubt. What do you want to eat? That's what I want to eat. Desert Island. That's what I would want to eat. Getting ready to go to the electric chair. That's what I'm eating. I can say that with full confidence. But why, when it comes to picking out a favorite game, I can't quite do that. Or what it is about a game that makes it my favorite, I can't do that. Or why, whenever somebody asks me what my favorite song is, it gives me an anxiety attack. Not clear on that. And then I have like one thing I really don't understand is that there is a bass player out there that I just think is fantastic. She just hits everything perfectly. She is very, 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 very good. She's not technically the best out there. I've definitely heard better, but she's got this kind of soul thing going on about it that it just works. She always plays the note in the right spot, and the funny thing is that I respect her so much as a musician, but I don't like any of their songs, if that makes any sense. Like I was listening through, she immediately came to mind as I was working on my favorite songs, but none of their songs really made the list. One got close, but I just couldn't justify keeping it on there because we weren't talking about favorite musicians. We were talking about favorite songs. I don't know. But this map is going around, and I've managed to babble quite a bit and get a lot of it uncovered. We are dying. Why are we dying? What's going on here? This is bad. This is very bad. Let's get some combat robots out. Yeah, pay attention to where you're going, Kitch, especially when we're in a situation like this. Can't have you texting and driving. All right, let's go ahead and turn our robot on and get some repairs. Ooh, that was close. All right, 194 million, 304 million, 508 million, 470, 70. A big chunk of crude oil there. Over on this side, I'm going to run across this area right here and just kind of uncover a straight line going there. I would like to see if we've got some kind of water feature heading that way. That would be good information to know. Where's that coming from? Down there on the bottom. That's making me think that there may be an expansion close by there. Let's see, you're not really doing anything. I had plans to use you as artillery support. Let's send you down there and see if there is any expansion down there. What can we not see the station name from here? That would be helpful. 0.11, let's send it to station 1 because I believe that is on the wall on the bottom. And yeah, you go clear all that out. That's different. That changed. The combat robots used to explode. Now they just kind of fall. Huh. I like it. Yeah, another thing that kind of surprised me in exploring this is that there are a lot of really good, just technically excellent songs out there. But I'm finding that I enjoy the simpler, less complex ones more. I don't know. I found that kind of surprising. Some simple, like, little 3-chord songs with no real distinction between the verse and chorus, and a lot of those in my top list. I have no idea why. I think they're just funky. Boy, if this was the top of this, I could see this as being a very good thing with lots of fantastic potential. If we could get like a wall going, oh man, I want to know more about this layout here. Ultimately, if we could get this down to like a single choke point, that would open up a big giant area of land. All right, no, this looks like it's going to curve back up. I was hoping that was curving back in. Oh, nope, it is. Yeah, that's what I was wanting to see. Another interesting thing, there was like a Yahoo music service that I used to use back a long time ago. Whenever I first started working, and it was similar kind of to Spotify in that you could play, you could make playlists of songs that you liked, and it was really bad at playing the songs that you put in the playlist, though. It would make recommendations off of that. But I found out you could hack it fairly easily by putting the songs that it was playing all the time in the recommendations, and sometimes you would hear the songs that you wanted to hear more. Anyhow, it wasn't very good at suggesting new music based off of somebody that you played. I mean, you would pick one person that, like a piano player or something like that, and they're like, oh, well, this guy plays piano too. And it's like, no, not at all. Spotify seems to be a lot better at that, in my opinion. I found some newer musicians that I really like a lot. For several years there, I was only getting exposed to newer music through my daughter and the things that she wanted to listen to on the radio, and that is not a good way. I have found to find good music. I've learned that the hard way. We have very different musical tastes. But no, a lot of good things still happening out there. I was giving up there for a while and getting all cynical. Like, people don't play music anymore. It's all like computerized, and it's all it's not. There's stuff out there, and there's actually some of the computerized stuff, the produced stuff out there that is really, really good. that I didn't know about. Because it's not like you listen to the radio anymore. At least I don't. I did a little bit whenever I was doing like a morning commute to work, but I stopped because I started listening to podcasts instead. So and it's like there's no middle ground on radio stations. It seems like there's like the hits of the old times or the current hits, and if you're not really interested in pop music or country music or whatever genres are represented by your radio dial, there's no real good spot to actually find stuff. It's like you don't go to CD stores anymore, right? And get recommendations from people. I don't think those exist. Surely they do. I know there's like vintage record shops and stuff like that, but I mean like a music store, like in the mall. It used to be in the mall. All right, well, that's a pretty good chunk of land uncovered up there. I'm thinking we definitely build a wall there. I'm not quite sure how to deal with this area up here, though. I almost want to move this wall up to, like, right here. And then maybe continue it on. As far as building... Boy, there's not a lot of open building area as well. Yeah, and I haven't been, you know, being anywhere. I've been very vague on the song thing, musician thing, and all that stuff. I know, it's very divisive. I know amongst folks. I would hate to say something positive about a band that you despise, or say something bad about your favorite band, even though it's not intentional. Music can get divisive, you know, just like politics and religion and other things. Musical preferences, people feel strongly about them. I thought that I did. I found out that I don't think I do. It's all part of the journey, though. But I will keep you updated on if I ever find that. If I ever develop a very good system for determining what your favorite song is based on 12 or 13 different factors. If I ever get that updated, I will let you know. Let's see. We've been going on for a little bit over 20 minutes now. A little bit under 30 minutes. And we've done a lot of good exploration here. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But we did get a little bit of information, and that is good to know. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Have a good one.